with what we see in our homes, and we were talking about this earlier too, that some of those things are the hardest to undo, because what it requires of you as you become an adult and have more awareness in yourself is that you have to identify clearly and sometimes take a stand that, man, my parent or parents didn't do this all the way right. And and there's some things that I gotta do to now that I'm an adult to heal it myself.
Exactly.
Even though they didn't provide it at the time, it affected me and it wounded me, and I don't want to take this with me, down the line any further. And I think that's the biggest key is the awareness of the pattern. And I hear a lot of people beat themselves up about a lot of things, and I think some of it's unnecessary, because you do have to stop and realize this. To become grown does take time, because you have to let your life play out long enough to even have patterns before you are able to recognize them. So one relationship may not be the one that teaches you, everything that you need to see and have awareness of and then to heal.
Right.
You're not, you know what I mean? You'll never be able to predict that, but the idea is that at some point along the way, and that's why we're having these conversations, because we don't get taught this. We don't really get taught, any of us. Even me, getting trained as a nurse, where I'm supposed to care for other people, and I'm supposed to have had the, greatest education of how our human physical body works, how a human being operates. And I gotta tell you, it's sorely lacking.
Word.
Because we don't get taught at the base that, in a lot of respects we do in some of the work that is shared in psychology and that type of thing, but I don't think it is nearly enough focus on that. My philosophy is on all of this about healing is that even anything that's going to come manifest in your physical body and in your physical world is first at root is an emotional cause.
I can jump to
and
the
that's
solution.
The wound.
I can jump to
and
the
that's
solution.
What it is, the solution.
Because I didn't have the solution, and now I do.
Right.
You know what I mean? What I was talking about was the things that I dealt with in my past relationships that kept me from getting what I wanted, because I had to understand what those things were. You can't know what you want until you have what you don't. You know what I mean? Like in
the contrast.
Yeah, the contrast. And what ended up happening was I was always a kid that always said I don't want to be a person that looks back and said woulda, coulda, shoulda.
Right.
I would talk to older people. Most of my friends were 2-3 years older than me. So I'm 14 with like 17-year-olds, 16, 17-year-old guys that are so cool and just different than anybody. You know what I mean? So my relationships as a young adolescent were so amazingly different than most kids and what they get to experience.
Yeah.
And I got to take that with me. That's why it's so important for me to hold on to the history of Rockford, you know what I mean, because of my people from back in the day, and I never lost hold of them in my spirit. I kept them. And still today, it's nothing changed. If I get on the phone and talk to any of them, it's no time lost. But the history of what I went through before comes with you, and
Sure.
through it all, I don't have any regrets of anything that I've learned from my past relationships. They actually were, the two women before you, baby, were awesome women. I can honestly say probably two of the greatest women on this earth, so you gotta understand, for me to have the woman for me, I actually know you are the one for me, that I waited for my whole entire life. I've never had that, I've never had that understanding so fast. And it's because that's the solution.
Understand.
But that's the solution, because we settle. Everybody settles. Not everybody. It's a lot of, it's some people out there that are living the dream of the life that they've always wanted.
There are.
And I'm living proof of that. Everything from where we live to, what we do together, how we go together. You're my perfect match. It's like, when you wait on God, when you wait on your true highest self, and you do the work to understand what it takes to get that.
That's where we needed to go,
And
right
the,
here.
and the discipline of that, you know, you actually heal yourself. You actually, you know, whether it takes you years. You waited 8 years. I mean, you were single for 8 years. How many people can say that they went 8 years without, you know, even entertaining being with somebody? With my past relationship, I did almost a year, you know, before I even got into something. But there I go again, repeating old patterns because I got into something that I really didn't even feel, you know. And you got to be careful of who you give your energy to, who you give externalized power to, because you're damaging yourself.
Yes.
You know, and I was damaging myself from the point that I started becoming sexually active again, in the sense that I wanted my freedom. I wasn't with anybody, you know, and I enjoyed having, you know, not having a responsibility to anybody else but myself. I enjoyed that because my last relationship towards the end was so much work with give and take, and it's just because we were at the end of where we were going. But I got so used to that towards the end of the relationship that I didn't want that anymore. I don't want a competition with the person I'm with. Sure. And I needed when you're an artist, you need a certain amount of support. You know what I mean? Like that. Nobody really understands unless they're an artist themselves. If they are doing the same kind of lifestyle, then you'll understand. But if you're an artist and you're with somebody who doesn't understand that, you know, that's very, very difficult for the artist and for the other person who isn't.
Right.
And so with you being an artist, you know, that all those problems, they're not even a thought.
Right.
You know what I mean? So not only that.
What you were talking about too was that, the 8 years that I was single, there were times that I didn't date at all, and then there was times that I did. But I wanted to go back to the point that you made. I had to come to the realization that while I was out here searching for the one, which is you, in that process, I had to do some of the things that I did to get back out there and, you know, figure things out and heal myself. But I want to, again, get back to the solution. I had to realize that while some of the things that I was doing were helping, some of the advice that we get in this culture I was following, and it was not helpful at all. And I realized what it was doing was damaging myself. And so I had to think about it. I finally had to think about it this way, and here's how it gets to the solution. I had to get fed up enough. Because 8 years, that's a long time, y'all.
Word up.
I had to get fed up enough and healed enough too, because that's a huge part of why I was single for so long.
That's attractive, though. That's very attractive.
But I had to get fed up enough with the things that weren't working, and that I knew in my heart and my soul were not, even though it was the common advice that everybody's out here giving, I knew it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. And I knew that if I kept on, you know, putting myself out here to keep meeting people that I wasn't really interested in, spending my time doing that kind of thing, I finally just got fed up. And here's what changed everything. I had to give up my love life, literally, to God. I had to get fed up enough with everything that I did that, yes, a lot of it was helpful, but I finally had to be like, you know what, obviously, because we talk about this a lot, I made a specific list over time.
So did I.
Of every single thing the person for me was going to be.
Right.
And I was shocked, stunned. There's not a word for it. That when you walk back in my life, a friend that I had known from the time that we were teenagers and spent all that time with together, and we were just friends then, but really good friends, and spent a lot of time together, that I reconnected with you, and that you were the one who had all of those things on that list that I created over time that no one else knew but God.
Same here.
And when I finally turned over my love life and surrendered it completely, and I had a conversation with a friend, and I said, that's it, I'm done. I'm not dating one more person. I'm not wasting one more moment on anyone else. And I said it out loud. It's the one or it's nothing.
That's
I'm
so
done.
funny because I did the
2 days later
thing.
Is when you walked in.
I was having an issue at the time because I was, like I said, I was extending my energy to people. And it's crazy that we do that. It's like even though we know we shouldn't be in a relationship, we still not even be in a relationship, even maybe be dating
yeah,
somebody.
That's what I was doing.
That
I didn't have
doesn't
any
fit
relationships,
you. They
but I
don't
was
fit
dating.
you. They
Right.
don't fit you. They're nothing.
And you know it.
But you're just entertaining.
So, hit me
the
up on
TV
all
popped
that.
on.
Ask Judge.
You're just doing it because it's something to do. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and
Fill in the void, just like we were
Yeah.
talking about earlier with alcohol.
that's sad to do because you're not in the right state of mind to be healing yourself if necessary.
all.
You know, I had so many distractions last year. Now, first of all, I just want to say I'm so thankful because last year was such a roller coaster. You know, I had lost my mom the following the year before. Then the following year was really almost the end of, I want to say it was almost like it was the beginning really of a new life for me, you know, because I had to deal with the loss of my mom in the physical, and being with my brother and sister and my nephew, and we kept each other up for a whole year, and then we kind of broke apart. And during that breaking apart, my brother went back to Minnesota, and my sister, she got a place, and then I moved. We all split up, but I had to make a choice right then and there. What was I gonna do? Was I gonna stay down, feel sorry for myself, play the victim role? No, I stood up at my mom's funeral and said, you know, I'm gonna make her proud. I want to live this life of what would make my mom happy to see me do. What would make me happy to see, you know, myself do. And so I really put in a lot of work, you know. I mean, everything from exercising, getting myself back in a good physical shape. My whole thing when I was doing that was mind, body, soul. You know, mind, body, spirit. Just get myself where I need to be in all three phases. And I can say I actually did that. I did that work, mind,
That's
body, and
real
spirit.
healing.
You know,
Yes.
and to be able to say that, I mean, I'm on top of the world right now, and people don't understand. I can't explain it better than just saying what I'm saying, but it's definitely greater than these words that I'm saying. I mean, like, because I didn't settle. You know what I mean? I didn't give my life to somebody that I would have wanted a divorce from in 5 years. You know what I mean? I didn't settle in the sense of give up on my dreams.
Right.
You know, I'm doing exactly what I know I'm supposed to do with my life.
Yes.
And to have found you, it's like winning the lottery. You know what I mean? It really, really is like
that's how
winning
I
the
feel.
lottery.
Yeah.
But I want people to realize that a lot of people helped me. You know what I mean?
Sure.
When I was about to leave Rockford, and it's because of Teresa Bielefeld. You know, she's like one of my best friends for life. You know what I mean? Like, she really has my best interests at hand. I mean, it ain't too many good people like Teresa.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
She's
like,
awesome.
And you were saying the other day about the respect that she has. You know,
Oh,
she
yeah.
called me, and I'm sorry, Teresa, I haven't been able to get back with you, but I'll call you today. But baby said that when you call me, you know what I mean? Like, you call her right after you didn't get me, you called her right after that. And that's such a woman respect thing.
Definitely.
For, you know, her to understand, you know, my woman to understand that you don't have bad vibes towards her. You don't have a hidden agenda, that you're just a good person and you wishing us both the best. And since me and baby got together, it's been females that, you know, act like everything on the surface is good, but then talk behind our back, or maybe, you know, like, I didn't even know this was going on, but it was a few friends of mine that I kind of had, you know, I don't want to say a relationship because it wasn't a relationship. I had an understanding. I had friends that wanted more than friends, that was like helping me along the way, because like I said, I was leaving. So a lot of people had my back in order to, you know, keep me here and to teach dance with Teresa. And I mean, the support that I got, I mean, Teresa literally started a Facebook page that said, We Love D page, you know, and anybody that can help him, you know, please donate what you can, money, things for his new place that he's moving in. I mean, people showered me with everything.
Which is extraordinary.
And you can't tell me people don't care.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? Like when you got somebody like Teresa and Amy, her sister, she's a beautiful, beautiful spirit. Both of them, I would ride or die with them in the sense of how they really, really treated me like a brother. Mm-hmm. And you can't find that kind of love anywhere. So I really appreciate y'all. And I appreciate every single person that, put energy in my dance classes, that danced with me, anybody that gave me anything, to help better me, because I didn't have anything. I lost everything. I quit. I left a whole life behind. I left Orlando, all my good friends back there. I left a beautiful woman that I thought was going to be the woman for me. I left my dog. Y'all don't understand how much I miss my puppy. I miss my puppy so much, and I send her love all the time with telepathy, because I know she gets it. Mm-hmm. And I have so much love in me that it hurts me when I hurt other people unintentionally. And I know I've done that because of my bad decisions of giving people energy and time. I've given people so much time of mine that really didn't deserve it, in the sense of what I was trying to do with my life. You get people that want certain things from you that you don't realize they want from you until later, and the whole time you're saying what you're saying, I don't want a girlfriend, I don't want this and that. You're thinking people are getting your point of view, but they say all the right things for you to stay with them, and to keep that relationship. But if you're blinded by doing 100 things a day, my life last year was the extreme opposite of what I do now. Mm-hmm. I mean, everything from drinking to being with people that didn't serve my best interest, because they seem like they did, in the sense of, I got your back. I want to see, you succeed. But then when they don't get what they want from you, then it becomes like, now I'm going to turn my back on you and be, kind of vicious in the sense, because what was happening was, when me and baby got together, we would go out to certain places, and females, not a lot, but they know who they are, would look at her and give her vicious looks. I didn't know that was going on. I'm just, because I didn't have a relationship like that with these people. You know what I mean? It was just, I was spending time with them, and, they wanted more than that, and when you're in that type of situation, you're setting yourself up for failure, because what happened was, it became a game of, I want to help you, so you can be where you need to go, and it is a beautiful thing, because I'm from like the hood. I'm from, when my mom left my pops, we had to go to the projects, and we weren't used to that. We didn't know anything about that, so I learned about poverty and all that real young. So me coming up from the hood, I mean, we've done everything from being in gangs to selling, drugs, to make money to bring home to family, for the family to eat. I mean, I've come out of such a deep hole of my life, and to have the love that I have for everybody. I mean, I really love everybody, and I don't even have an enemy. If I do, I don't know I have them, because I love people like that. All my ex-girlfriends, I've called, and even though sometimes I was treated bad, I've called and still said, look, I still have love for you. We don't talk all the time or nothing like that, but at least I have that love to extend, that I don't have hate. I don't have hate towards anybody. Don't get it twisted. If you come against me wrong, you're going to have to, pay for what you did, in the sense of retaliation, and God is my biggest retaliator. I don't have to make a move, and you'll live a life of damning if you come against somebody who's in tune with God. That just happened too. I had somebody that I know, that I worked where I worked, he would come in, and it was so weird, because he approached me with a question about him and his wife, and I answered the question to the best of my ability, just telling them, I just gave him a good quality answer in the name of God. And so he did it twice. He asked me to come back, and I did it again. And then the next time around, you know, he said something weird that just threw me off. He said, it's summertime, man, and guys, I worked at a gym. And he's like, it's summertime, man, and I've been getting hit up on Facebook by all these new women. You know what I mean? What he does, he's take these selfies. I mean, he a big, incredible Hulk-looking dude. You know.